Hi guys, I'm MightyBalls and today's video is going to be regarding the review of the AMX 30 prototype, the Tier 9 French tank, and how to play it, or at least give my opinion on how to play it. For those of you who have watched my videos in the past, you'll know I'll break this down into 3 sections. I'll go through its statistics regarding its armour, its gun and its mobility. I'll then show you a couple of replays on how I play the tank and hopefully show you how to, or at least give you a few pointers on how to play this tank. And finally, I'll go over the review on everything I've done and hopefully give some pointers on how you can play this tank, and if you don't want to play this tank, or at least how you could take this out on the battlefield. So okay then, we're on Tanks GG. This is the website where you can basically go learn all about your tanks, on how to penetrate them through the armour, or even statistics about your tanks. For this, I'll give you the statistics of these tanks. You won't need to do this, so hopefully I'll give you some insight on how to play this tank or how to take this out on the battlefield. So I've got all the top modules: the top gun, turret, engine, tracks, radio, etc. I believe you can unlock the top gun before you get the top turret. That is brilliant because the gun's always the best thing to have. The turret's good, but at the end of the day only adds view range and a slight bit of armour, so it's not a necessity. So I have mostly APCR in this. I think I've only got 5 heat, maybe a little bit more, and a few HE. I think it's 4 or 5 HE. With the HE being a pen of 53, it can go through your grills, your RHMs and a few lights. But at the end of the day, it's not going to go through quite a lot of tanks you meet, because you're going to be seeing a lot of tier 10s in this tank. The heat is 320 pen. Now, they're good for when you're seeing tanks like the IS-7, the E100, where they're a bit hull down. Other than that, you don't really need them. I barely ever fire heat in this tank, and even when I'm seeing Mauses and E100s, because to be fair, 260 pen is enough to go through just about every single tank you meet. I have vertical stabilizers, I have optics, sorry, that was wrong. I had optics and I have gun rammer. I have a small med kit and I have a small repair kit, as well as a premium fire extinguisher. Now my crew on this are quite poor. I've only got a 1 skill crew, so at present I only have smooth ride, snapshot and safe still. I have got 6 cents. So with them type of layouts, I mean, if you have brother in arms and things like that, it will improve the DPM and just about everything, but I unfortunately don't have it, so I'm going to give you a replay on what I do have, and I can give you information on how this handles with a poor crew, or a fairly poor crew, which is 100% on skill at least. So this tank has 2,738.82 damage per minute, giving a damage of 390 on average every time it hits, with a penetration with APCR of 260. Now that gives a reload of 8.54, a rate of fire of 7.02 times per minute. Its aiming time is 2.21, which is pretty decent, but you can feel it sometimes, especially when you're just popping over a ridge and you've got to wait 2 seconds before you can shoot and get down. Its dispersion is pretty decent at 0.32. It's not the best, but it is pretty damn good. And its dispersion on the move, tank traverse and turret traverse is 0.12, 0.13 and 0.15. Its top speed is 65 kilometers an hour. Now its reverse speed is 23. Now that is pretty decent, because as I say, you can go to a ridge line, pop a shot off and get back down again before that tank has even had time to shoot at you, unless you're doing it wrong, that is. Now its view range is 429. I remember this being a lot better. I've got a feeling it got nerfed slightly on its view range. I'm not too sure, but right now 429, it's not maxed out, even though I've got optics. Maybe once I've got 100% on situation awareness and recon, it'll creep above there, or it definitely will if I get brother in arms. Its gun depression, I forgot to mention this, is, you know, okay. It's not the best, but 8 degrees, if you can't work with 8 degrees, you're not going to work with anything else. 8 degrees is pretty decent. You'll get over most ridges, take a shot and get down before you get shot, as long as you're doing it correctly. Its gun elevation is 20, which is about standard for most mediums, and its gun traverse and track traverse is 21.88 degrees a second and 45.89 degrees a second, which is quite nice when when light tanks are trying to traverse you. So that's enough about the actual statistics of the tank. Let's get over to the armour. So just about everything you come up against, from tier 7s to tier 10s, they're all going to pen you. So your lower plate is basically 83 to about 100, 101, and upper plate is anywhere from 90 to 94, with a huge weak spot of around 50 to 60 millimeters thick. Now its turret armour is garbage. It's around 70 to 120 on the cheeks. It's gun mantlet. If you're hitting it on the side, you can bounce some if you're really lucky at 240. But let's face it, even your gun mantlet's around 150 to 160. On the top of its turret, it's around 60 to 70, so you're not going to penetrate this with HE unless you've got HEP or HESH. And even then, to be fair, if the person's playing this correctly, it's going to be hard to hit that every time. Now it's got a whacking cupola on top, which is only 30 to 40 millimeters thick. So if you're close enough, load HE, hit the cupola, and get your maximum damage. If you see one of these on the side, load HE, have a farm fest, hit these in the side. At the end of the day, it's 30 mil thick. Even your poorest HE is going to go through that. But if you're quite a distance away, load AP or APCR, whatever your standard is, and just aim for anywhere on the tank really, because just about everywhere on the side of the tank is between 50 and 30 millimeters thick. Same as the back. Load HE, farm this, and make it feel your pain. Because at the end of the day, it goes down to 19 millimeters thick, the maximum 45. Anyway, that's enough of the statistics. Let's go over some replays and let's show you how I played this tank, and hopefully give you some hints and pointers on how you can play this tank. So I'm on a standard battle on mines with top tier. We've got a better team by the looks of it, or at least on paper, than the other team. All in all, good matchmaking. Well done, Wargaming. So one of the big strengths of this tank is its mobility. So I'm going to get to the middle first. The only tanks which are going to beat me are going to be the WZ and the Bulldog. The SP1C isn't quick enough. The only reason that WZ131 is going to beat me is because he had a better start than me. So hopefully we'll see some light tanks, we'll bully them and hopefully get them killed. The only ones who are going to beat us there is probably the 1357, which there he is, and the Leopard. So there's the 1357, I put in a shot hitting him for 433 and he returns the favour hitting me for 97. I reversed back to try and finish him off, but unfortunately the SP1C had other ideas, and I do apologise there to the T50, I didn't mean to block you, mate. So I went over to try and take out the T49, but he dropped down. I'm going to just focus on this IS-3, give him a bit of a warning, let him know if he's going to pull out, I'm going to shoot him. So I poke round, I take a shot, I hit his top plate to the left, and I penetrate him for 358, which is a low roll for this tank. Now I've got what I wanted, I've got the top, now I can start dominating, and I'm going to start taking out the tanks one by one, or at least that's my plan in the game anyway. So I'm going up. Unfortunately I'm being proxy spotted by this Leopard PTA, he's doing a good job. I'm keeping myself in between that rock because I don't want the camping TDs, the Tortoise and the WT or PZ4 to shoot me, because if they hit me I'm going to be in serious trouble in this tank, because this tank only has 1650 alpha, or shall I say health, which isn't a lot. Trust me, when these tanks start hitting it isn't a lot. So I poke over, I shoot the Tiger 2, but unfortunately I get hit by the T55A, which wasn't spotted whilst he shot me, which is insane for its camo. Now this tank, its mobility is pretty decent, I get around quite easily. I'm having a look now, seeing what I can get. But its gun, it's a good whacker. I mean, it hits tanks for 400 on average every time. Its gun depression is pretty decent, hence why I wanted to get this hill and I want to start shooting down at tanks. And just, you know, show these tanks who's daddy. So I see myself in IS-3, I take a shot, unfortunately I hit the right hand side of his top plate and it bounces, or should I say ricochets. Now you're looking at the DPM on this, it's pretty decent, even though it's 8 seconds, it's still pumping some shots into these tanks. I've put 388 into that, IS3, and now he's feeling a bit sore. I put in another shot, hitting him this time for 439. Now, all in all, I'm happy. I've got the top of the hill. I'm getting damage. I've got 2k damage already. I haven't got a kill yet, but the game's still early. We're 2-1. They've got more health pool than we have. They've got 14,000 where we've got 13,600. I'm trying to use this ridgeline and the bushes to try and keep hidden and try and get the odd shot off onto them. But now the best thing about this tank is its mobility, so now I'm going to go over to the other side because my other teammates might need help because there is a big cluster of tanks over there. So I head off over there. I'm going to see if I can shoot their KV5 or the Tiger 2 again. Or now suddenly the Tiger 2's being put down to a one shot, so I pop over, I shoot him, and then the T55A tries to shoot me again. I take out the Tiger 2, hitting him for 405, which is a very slight high roll, which takes him out of the game. I want to get this IS3 out of the game, so I lean over, I take a shot, and that his armour can seem to take 260 from the side. I mean, really, RNG, are you going to play me that type of card? I take a shot at the cupola of the tortoise. You can't see this, there's a bit of a bug in the replay which doesn't show you, but I hit the cupola with 260 pen again, and again I bounce. So I had a couple of unlucky RNG shots. I must have hit the lower end of my RNG for its penetration, and unfortunately I bounced on two tanks which are more or less guaranteed pens. This tank's penetration at 260 can go through the superstructure quite easily generally. So I do a snapshot on the IS3. I want to turn my focus onto these because my plan is to take these out of the game, flank round, and to do some damage. So this IS3 goes back into cover, then pops out. I take a shot, and the accuracy of this gun hits him pinpoint into the wheel, and it took his tracks off. He repaired with a repair kit, and now I'm in a dominating space. I'm about to drop down, I think, because it's getting a bit hairy on the other side. I want to make sure that I can finish these tanks off and not my teammates, because at the end of the day I want the damage, not them. I've had a good game, guys. 2,800. It's a respectable game, but I'm not finished. I want more. This tank can give you more. This tank is an absolute brilliant tank. Tier for tier, I would say this tank is one of the best in the game. Now I see the side of an IS3, I put in a shot, I low roll, leaving him on 1 health. Darling, what are you doing to me? And my M41 Bulldog takes him out. Now I've got one of the best players on the other team. I take a shot, and amazingly I bounce a shot. There you guys. This is the tank. This has got armour and everything. No, I'm joking. The armour on this is absolutely awful. He must have hit my gun mantler on a weird angle for it to bounce. So I'm going to try and bum scrape, see if I can get any shots. I can't, he's in a little divot, so I'm going to pull back and take a shot at hopefully a TD. TD spotted. I can't really see him. I take the wall out to see if I can see him, but I can't, and I pull back. I'm going to go and try and side scrape against this building and see if I can take out the T55A. I take a shot, I miss, and I pull back behind cover. Now this gun's really accurate. I'm about to show you this. Look at the cupola on here, and I shoot and I hit him for 407, and my teammate take him out. I turn my attention to the TDs. I do a little snapshot. I can see these tanks, guys. Again, it's a bug. I do apologise for that. It's Wargaming's coding, unfortunately. But I take a shot at the WT. I hit him for 385, and he's down to a one shot. I do another shot, and I take him out. And then the tortoise is taken out right after. So I'm going to just YOLO this IS6, take a shot at him, and hopefully take him out. I miss. I can't believe I missed. So I go forward. I'm going to try and get this guy safe, but I don't get there soon enough, and I take him out. Now I'm going to quickly go and farm this KV5. I'm hoping he's on more health so I can get more than one shot off. and unfortunately he's not. I need a little high roll just to take him out, and I do for 409. I turn around and there's a cheeky little T49. Hits me with HE. Luckily hit my tracks, or else that could have been good night Vienna for me. I'm going to speed this up because at the end of the day I'd get no more damage. The tank next to me ends up killing him. So let's go over to the next replay. We're on Ruinberg. It's encounter. We're mid-tier, which you're going to be mid-tier a lot of times in this because you're a tier 9 medium. They have no lights, we have no lights, but we have a mass of medium tanks, they have a mass of TDs. Now all in all, we should dominate this game purely because we've got mobility over their static TDs. But does that mean anything in this game? No, this is wargaming. So this tank, mobility is brilliant, so I'm going to go straight up there. I'm going to try and use what little camo rating this has, because let's face it, this camo rating is not the best. It's okay, but you're going to get spotted 9 times out of 10. I go forward, I spot myself at M103, I take a shot at the lower plate corner. Unfortunately I hit the tracks and all I do is track him. I get spotted for that and I pull back. I pull forward and unfortunately I took a shot from the 704 there, and I put a shot into M103. Now straight away I've just lost 40% of my hit points by the TD at the back, which wasn't even spotted. Now I'm going to use the mobility on this tank. I'm going to try and flank around, try and get some shots into the E4 and tanks like that. Trying to keep myself double bushing here. Put a shot into E4, I pull back just in case I'm spotted. I wasn't, so then I pull forward. I put a shot, or I was about to put a shot into the E4, but unfortunately he ended up moving away, so I put a shot into the grill instead, hitting him for 378. Now this tank has an absolute very reliable gun. You shoot, you get a pen, as long as you're not stupid. Like this. I go and bounce on the side of a grill. Thank you Wargaming, thank you very much. One of the least armoured tanks in the game, and I go and bounce. So I'm going to try and spot these TDs. Unfortunately these TDs have camo like gods, and there's no chance I'm going to spot these through these bushes. So I'm going to try and flank around the other side, near where my tanks are on the right, but on this side, and hopefully put a few shots into tanks like the E4. I put a shot into the E4. You can't see it on here, but there is a red line. For some reason Wargaming, as I've mentioned, have a bug on its replays when you're recording. I put in another shot, and unfortunately I bounce on this lower plate. Now the camo seems to be holding up. I think it's more the fact that I'm triple bushing more than anything else. And now I'm just going to go and face hug this wall, see if I can get any spots. And unfortunately I can't. For some reason, beyond my knowledge, I'm not spotting anything. Especially how I know there's still 1 or 2 tanks in there. Granted, a couple have gone to the city, and now that's where I think I must be. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be here static all the time. My team are going to lose the city unless I go in and at least take 1 or 2 tanks out of the game. Now I'm going to show you the strengths of this tank. This tank is its strength, is its mobility and gun. So I'm going to mobile out of here. Get it? Oh, sorry, bad joke. Get this tank out, and I'm going to get into the city. Hopefully take out a few tanks. My main objective is the tortoise. I want to get him out of the game. He's flanking my heavies. Hopefully I'll get there before he gets there, and before he can take my heavies out of the game. The M48 pattern on my team sees what I'm doing, and he's decided he's going to retreat also, which is quite nice to have a bit of backup. I've done 1400 damage. I've done nothing in this game up to now. I tried to secure that side, but unfortunately their TDs are camping too hard and I can't do that. I put a shot tracking the tortoise, hopefully going to keep him permatracked as he used his repair kit. He has either a very good repair crew, or he used his repair kit. I look at the cupola, I shoot him without him being able to shoot me. I try and get his cupola again. Unfortunately, he goes straight back in. The M103 spotted. I don't want to take a hit. I'm on 500 hit points. I don't particularly want to lose any more health. But luckily, the M103 turns his turret and I take him out. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to see if I can get the cupola of this guy. And luckily for me, the WT PZ4 takes him out for me. And I go and see if I can get the back of this IS-7. I then realise, hang on, he's moving towards me. The chances are he's facing me. There's not a chance I'm going to face him. At the end of the day, he's got a chance, say a 50-50 chance of one-shotting me. And I don't particularly want to take that chance. So while he's engaging, I'm going to see if I can get a shot on. I can't. So in my opinion, it's time to get the hell out of here. Because look at him, he's huge. So I've made up my mind now. I'm going to go off to the middle. I'm going to see if I can take out any TDs who are trying to get some snipes down the middle, or even trying to flank around us here. I'm a one shot for just about all the TDs which are present in the game, which is a bit scary considering most of the TDs in the game have quite decent precision and aim time. So I'm a bit worried, but I'm going to get off to the middle. If I don't spot anyone immediately, I'm going to hopefully get the butt of the IS-7 and put a round or two into him. And again, I'm showing you the mobility of this tank. This tank is absolutely crazy when it comes to its mobility, which makes it one of the strongest tanks. I see myself a grill. I've got to take him out rather than the IS-7. He's more dangerous on his gun, and I do. And unfortunately, I see myself with WT-PZ4. This is scary now. He's on full health. I load myself HE. I want to take him out with HE, and I want to take him out quickly, because at the end of the day, he's going to end up killing me else. So I've got my HE loaded. I'm hopefully going to hit him in his turret, damaging hopefully his gun or his gun crewman or something which is going to help me. I'm going around. I don't think he's at this section right now. I think he's gone straight for me. So I'm flanking around to hopefully find him. And there he is. He's trying to find me. I shoot him in the back of the gun. Hopefully I broke something there, hitting him for 428, which is an extremely low roll for this tank on it for its HE. Now I start reversing back. I've still got HE loaded. If he pulls around that corner, I am going to track him, and hopefully he's already used his repair kit. I'm pulling back, trying to get behind cover. I'm going to get myself behind a few bushes so at least my camo counts for something. And suddenly spotted to my right. I put a shot into him, hitting him for 500. He shoots and he tracks me. I instantly repair my tracks. I go for his turret and I shoot him for 491. And then go to try and traverse him. I suddenly out-traverse him, and that means I've done it. Yes. I took out a WT-4, or I should say PZ4, full health, without taking a shot, guys. So now it's just us three, shall I say, versus the IS-7. Now that's a good recovery. Thank you to the WT-PZ4 on our team. He seems to have done really well, but unfortunately he just got taken out by the IS-7. Now, I've got a 50-50 chance of dying here if I take a shot from him, so I particularly don't want to take a shot for him. I take him by surprise. I shoot, I bounce off the side of his armour. He now knows where I am. He starts aiming towards me. I'm going to try and goad him into a shot, shall I say, and hopefully he'll miss. He does. He snapshots and he hits the tank in front of him. So I'm going to go in. I do a tracking shot, hitting him for 399, which is a nice roll, leaving him on 59. I'm thinking, oh no, can I take a shot? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let the arty finish him off. I'm not going to do it. The arty fires and he hits the tank in front of him. The IS-7 fires, he misses, so I go in and I take him out. So let's go over to the results. So we're on the QuickieBabies replay website, which is replays.quickybaby.com. If you have any great replays where you get like 1,000,000 damage or 25 kills, stick them on this website and I'm sure QuickieBaby will show your replay on his YouTube channel. So anyway, I hit 3, 6, 7, 10, 11 tanks, doing a grand total of 5,483 damage. I did 971 assistance damage, which earned me a sharp shooter, where I hit enemy tanks 10 or more times consecutively. I get an ace tanker and I get a high caliber. I get 1,336 base experience, killing 4 tanks, and again 5,483 damage. I made 74,638 credits. I also got 6 credits at the beginning of the game where the Spick ran into me, where I actually thought I ran into him, but it looks like Wargaming thought he ran into me, which earned me a grand total of 32,781 credits profit. Considering I only spent 7,000 on repairs, 31,000 on ammunition, considering I did not fire 1 round of premium there, and then 3,000 for repairing my tracks, I believe it was, at the beginning to mid game. I earned 2,004 credits because I'm premium, which gave me 99 credits free XP. Because I had a bonus on at the time, I ended up with 3,006 experience with 297 free experience. I fired 26 shots, hitting 18 and penetrating 15. Which is the reason why I made such a big profit, because if you penetrate these APCR, even though they're very expensive, you make a huge amount of money because you're hitting tanks for 400 or so say 390 each time. So let's go over to the second replay. Now this is the Ruinberg one, where I had that nice engagement with the Waffenträger PZ4, where I took him for full health. I killed 4 tanks doing 4,945 damage, 743 assistance. Now let's have a look what I did to this Waffenträger, because this was quite a fun game, especially I was firing HE. Let's see what I did to him. Now I took out his gun. I damaged it first and then I took it out completely by destroying it near the end, hence why I was probably allowed to traverse him. I took out his gunner and his loader at the beginning, so that is probably why he tracked me, because I probably took out his gunner and he couldn't repair him. I also did some tracking damage on the IS-7, the Grill, the M103 and the Tortoise. I got 1,296 base experience killing 4 tanks and again 4,945 damage. I did 69,357 credits. I had 10,000 in repairs, because this is actually not a bad tank to get repaired in. Firing 24,460 ammunition and again doing repairs on my tank, which cost me 3,000 credits, giving me a total of 31,233 credits. I did 1,944 experience because I'm premium and 96 free XP. I fired only 19 shots, hitting all 19 shots and penetrating 15. Now let's have a recap of the replays and the strengths and weaknesses of this tank. Now the mobility is absolutely brilliant. 65 mobility going forward, 23 going back. This tank's main strength, I believe, is its mobility. Its second strength is its gun. The fact that it's got 8 degrees gun depression, 20 degrees of gun elevation. It hits for 390 every 8 seconds. This tank is an absolute beast when it comes to dishing out damage and getting around the map, where you can find the flanks of players so you can get their butts rather than the frontal. Even the corridor maps with this tank is an absolute joy to play. Now the weaknesses are its armour. Just about everything can pen you frontally, side and rear, and if they get the side and rear, expect to get HE'd because it's going to hurt like a bitch. Now I haven't mentioned, because I didn't experience arty thankfully in those 2 replays, but if arty hit you, expect it to pen, and it is going to pen. The amount of times I have been one shot in this tank by things like the Batchat RT, the 261, I've even been one shot by a 207. So at the end of the day, try and keep mobile, try and keep moving, because if you get hit by RT, it's going to sting like a bugger. Now, the other thing is its weakness, and that's its camo. Now, if you're going to be 300 to 400 meters away behind a bush and shooting, expect to get shot back, because you're going to get spotted. So they're the only two weaknesses I can see in this tank. This tier for tier is the best medium in the game. Is it better than an E50? Yes and no. E50 is a completely different tank. It's more of a get in and do your damage tank, because the arm is pretty well angled and you can get in there and brawl. This tank is a medium tank. I advise to go medium to long range all the way up to the end, where you can use your health to hopefully dominate the end proceeding of the games. Try and use ridge lines. 8 degrees is very good, and you'll be able to pop up, shoot and pop back down. Try and flank your opponents. This has the mobility. It only takes you a few seconds to get from one place to another, and you'll surprise your victims. Try not to brawl against 140s and T54s and tanks like that, because you'll get out DPM'd, purely because the DPM on them tanks are a lot better than yours, and the health pool are a lot better than yours. You only have 1,650 health pool, so at the end of the day you haven't got a lot of health to start brawling with. So keep it at medium range. So I hope you like this replay. If you do, please like and subscribe. It helps this channel and also help this video. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.